My brothers and sisters, and my beloved confreres, I extend a very hearty welcome to each one of you on this 31st Sunday of the liturgical year, on which we are celebrating also the solemnity of All Saints. In the medieval ages, there existed a monastery. There were a lot of monks living in this monastery. They were all so committed, so loving, and so radical in their commitment, and they lived together in joy, peace, and love. But in the course of time, there emerged a sense of dissipation, laziness, and quarrel among them. One would not tolerate the other. They were not in talking terms with each other. There were a lot of misunderstandings and miscommunications. Some of them even left the monastery. The abbot, the superior of the monastery, was very sad. He didn't know how to engage himself in animating this community. Finally, he heard about an enlightened holy man, a master who was living in the remote forest. He decided to go to him and to have a dialogue with him. As he approached this enlightened man, the man listened to him very keenly and told the abbot, "Return to your monastery, call a community meeting, and tell the members of your community, one among you is a Messiah." The abbot returned. He called the community meeting and told the members of the community, "My brothers, remember, one among you is a Messiah." There was a total silence in the community. One by one, each one of them left the place. They went into their own cells, began to reflect on the words spoken by the abbot. And each one began to tell himself, "Perhaps I may be the Messiah. I need to behave well. I need to treat the other well. I need to be considerate to my brother. And by chance, if the other is the Messiah, I need to revere him. I need to respect him." This discernment among the members of the community that perhaps I may be the Messiah or the other is the Messiah changed the scenario of the community's life. All of them became very loving, committed to their responsibilities. Perhaps this is a story, but this story has a great message for each one of us. The celebration of the solemnity of All Saints brings home to us the true message that each one of us is called to be a saint. I'm so much delighted in the letters of Saint Paul. Saint Paul, in his writings, tells the Christians whom he is addressing, saints of Thessalonica, saints of Philippi, saints of Rome, saints of Galatia. Every Christian whom he addressed was a saint. Christians are called to be saints, and this vocation to be a saint is the vocation to be a Christian. A saint is the spark of the light of the one who said, "I am the light of the world." And that is the foundational message the readings of the day are bringing to us. We need to become saints. We have in the Gospel of Matthew today the proclamation of Jesus of the Beatitudes. Blessed are you. What is the foundational aspect of being blessed? If you go into the Old Testament, we would find there in the book of Psalms, chapter 1, verse 1, "Blessed is the one who does not listen to the counsel of the wicked, who does not sit on the seat of the scoffers, who does not walk the way of the sinners, but blessed is he who delights in the law of the Lord, who accepts the law of the Lord, meditates on it, and reflects on it. This is the first aspect of being blessed, the one who is able to accept the law of the Lord in his life and meditate and reflect on it and delight in it. A second aspect of the reason for the blessedness is the one who is aware of the foundational involvement of God in the history today and awaiting that interference of God in his life with a sense of hope. God will come into my history. He will interfere with me positively, orienting me and giving me a sense of direction towards God. And that's where we see this beautiful message in the Gospel of Matthew of the Beatitudes. Blessed are you. I was just going through the parallel readings in the Gospel of Luke as well. If you look into the Gospel of Luke, of the Beatitudes being proclaimed by the evangelist, we would see there are only 4 blessedness mentioned there. Blessed are the poor, blessed are the hungry, blessed are those who weep, and blessed are you when people hate you. 4 kinds of blessedness. And this is in reality with the life situation of the people. The people whom Luke the evangelist was addressing were people who really suffered poverty, who were under oppression and struggled because of hunger. And these are the people to whom Jesus comes now to the plain ground. If you read the Gospel of Luke chapter 6, you would find there Jesus came down to a level ground with his disciples. That means he entered the history of the people in their practical life situation. That's why Jesus was courageous enough to go to the synagogue and read the book and tell them, today is the day, the acceptable day of the Lord. The Spirit of the Lord has come upon me to proclaim the good news to the poor, to set liberty to those who are captives, and to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord. And he says, these words are fulfilled today. My brothers, my sisters, God interferes in the history of the people and makes them blessed. Are you listening to this interference of God in your life? Now let us return to the passage of the day from the Gospel of Matthew. Matthew brings in a different aspect of this beatitude. He tells, blessed are the poor in spirit. He means to say that those who are sufficiently rich, they need to return to their interior self and see the presence of God in their life. You need to adapt yourself to a new life situation, wherein when you understand God interferes with you, you turn yourself with a metanoia, a change of heart, and accepts the acceptable year of the Lord in your life. A sense of poverty in spirit means even when you are sufficiently rich in your life, you need to have the spirit of availability to the plan of God, to the will of God in your life. Let's merge these 2 dimensions in our life. A sense of poverty from the point of view of our material poverty, a sense of poverty from the point of view of our interior purity and dependence on the will of God. You are a saint. Saint Francis de Sales would say, holiness is meant for people of every walk of life. Whether you are a cobbler, whether you are a soldier, whether you are a farmer, you are called to be holy. You are called to be a saint by being faithful to the responsibilities the Lord has entrusted to you in the particular vocation that you have chosen. Yes, my brothers and sisters, you are a saint. We are blessed with a number of saints in our own times. Saint Alfonso, Saint Maria Theresia, Saint Euprasia, Saint Chavara Kuriakos, Saint Mother Teresa, Saint John Paul II. We have the feel of the holiness of these people and the ambience of their sanctity surrounding us, making us once again aware I need to become blessed in spirit and in reality. You are a saint. Remember, one among you is a saint. Perhaps it is me. Amen.